Hey guys, Robert 3D Printscape. Today I'm going to go over 3 upgrades that I recommend to anybody who's just getting started with a Creality printer. I'm using my Ender 3 Pro here, but they pretty much apply across the board because a lot of them are designed the same way, even though the sizes might be different. Alright, so before we jump into that, if you guys are new to the channel or have been watching the channel for a while and just haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. It would really help the channel grow. I'd appreciate that. And then if you need help or run into any issues, you can leave a comment below or go ahead and join us on Discord. I'll have the links to that in the description as well. Alright, so now let's talk about the 3 upgrades. The 3 that I recommend are going to be the BL Touch, the spring replacements as you can see here, and then the fan duct cover. So I've got a little bit different one right here just because this one has a direct drive, but it is a modified fan duct cover, and then we'll kind of talk about why here in a couple minutes. But those are going to be the 3 upgrades I recommend to anybody just getting started. And I'm going to go through each one of those individually and talk about them a little bit more and kind of go over why I recommend those. And then at the end, I'll talk about 2 additional upgrades I recommend if you're trying to reduce the noise from your printer. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the BL Touch. Alright guys, so the first upgrade I recommend here is going to be the BL Touch. As you can see, I have one on this printer here. I also have one on the Ender 3 sitting over there as well. It really helps with the leveling process, and it helps to offset any warps that may or may not be on the build plate. So let me talk about that really quick. I'm going to go ahead and take this cover off, and then I'll show you how to see if there's any warps on the build plate. Alright, so once you get down to the base plate, or just the magnetic pad, if you are using the magnetic build plate still, all you need is really just a flat board or level or something like that, and then you'll kind of just put it over and see if you're getting any type of movement in any direction. So here I'm getting a little bit of movement this way, mainly from front to back it looks like. Overall, this one I got pretty lucky with. It's pretty level. You can check all the sides just to check for any movements, and then with this being as level as it is, adding the glass bed, it's pretty much a non-issue. But my other Ender 3 over there, it's not anywhere near this level. The back is much different. So in that scenario, the BL Touch really does help a lot. And then it helps you just in case something gets knocked out of level on the actual bed itself. And it makes it so you don't have to get the bed perfectly level because it accounts for it. So I'm going to put this back on real quick. Alright, so I went ahead and put my build plate back on, and I wanted to show you the BL Touch, kind of talk about what it does and how it actually works. So you've got a probe here that engages when it goes to run a mesh or does an auto home. And at the start of each print, you can have it set up so that it does a grid. By default, that grid is going to be 3x3, so it probes 3 spots in the front here, 3 in the middle, and 3 in the back, just making a 3x3 grid. And what it's doing is it's using software to account for any differences in the level. So let's just say your right side was a little bit lower than the left side here. When you're printing, it's going to use the software to slightly adjust the Z-axis based on where the nozzle is to account for that difference. The technology behind it's actually pretty cool. If you're interested in that, there's quite a bit of research out there. It's pretty simple in theory. Actually getting it to work is a different story. But products like the BL Touch do a pretty good job on it. That said, I have videos covering the install. I will link to in the description below, and I'll add an info card up top. But the hardest part of the install isn't actually doing the physical install or the firmware. It's getting your Z offset set just right. So it's kind of like leveling your build plate, where you got to make sure that that gap is set accordingly. I've got videos covering that as well, and if you're building your own firmware, you can go ahead and add the Z offset wizard to it, and that's going to help you out as well. But this upgrade is one that I would highly recommend. Alright, the next upgrade I recommend is going to be your springs here. As you can see right here, I've got some yellow ones. They are stiffer and a little bit taller than the stock spring. Here is the actual spring that came on it. It has too much play, and when you actually level out the bed, it doesn't stay level the entire time. If you get knocked around or if you're putting too much pressure on one side or the other, it will start to adjust. So having the stiffer springs helps keep the bed level. Now, I've got these red wheels here. It just came with the kit The wheel itself doesn't make a difference. It's more cosmetic, but it was only a couple dollars more, and I liked how it looked, so I went that route. But this will help you to just keep things level, basically. Alright guys, and the last upgrade I would recommend, at least to get started, is going to be a fan duct cover upgrade. Here I've got a direct drive and an additional fan, so I'm not going to talk about that specifically, but I wanted to talk about what the stock cover is doing, which I've got here, and then talk about what a modified one like this one would be doing for you. So your stock cover, it sits like this, and you've got your little fan here that sits right above this little lip, and it just blows air straight down. As you can see, it's not very directional, and it just blows the air on one side of the filament. Where with an upgraded one or modified one, you can get them so that it blows air on both sides. So here it's just going to be pushing the air. This one works with the stock fan. It just pushes the same air through and splits it between the two sides here. I've got a video covering this as well. I'll link to that in the description. But this one also works with the BL Touch. It's got a mount here. If you don't have a BL Touch, you can print one without it as well. But if you're thinking about getting the BL Touch, I would just go ahead and print it with it, so you don't have to worry about swapping them out again in the future. But what this does is it helps with providing better overhangs and bridges. The difference is noticeable. It's not substantial, but it's definitely noticeable. Now, if you're wanting to get really good results, you're going to want to upgrade to like a blower fan or something like this. But that, I would think, is going to be something you'll consider later on down the line. If that's something you want to start with, I would recommend just sticking with this. And then a side benefit of this is because it's switching from the metal just to your filament, it's much quieter. The air going through here is significantly quieter than it just hitting the metal and being forced towards the nozzle. I think this upgrade took, I don't know, 9 or 10 hours to print and then 15 minutes to swap out. So it's definitely worthwhile. And if you haven't already done one, I would recommend it. All right, then I want to talk about 2 bonus upgrades. These are very specific to those of you who want to make your printer quieter. This printer right here, it came with the 1.1.4 Creality board. My other Ender 3 came with the 4.2.2. Neither one of them are silent boards. I switched this one to an SKR Mini, and I have a video covering all of that. I'll link to in the description below. But that swap made a huge difference. The biggest difference as far as noise reduction across the board. I also tried things like putting the dampeners on the stepper motors and things like that. In comparison to upgrading to a silent board, that did nothing. Then the other thing, after I upgraded to the silent board, let me turn this real quick. The biggest issue I had was the noise from the actual power supply. It's just a small fan mounted directly on the metal, and it gets loud. So switching to this one, it reduced the overall noise by, I think it was like 8 or 9 decibels, which is pretty substantial. And it wasn't too difficult. I think the print took like 8 or 9 hours, and then your fan is somewhere in the ballpark of like 15 bucks. Again, I did a video covering all of this. I'll link to that in the description. But if you're looking to reduce the noise output, I would really focus on the silent board and the power supply fan upgrade. Alright guys, so that covers the upgrades I would recommend to anybody getting started. There are a lot more that I would recommend depending upon what you're trying to do, and I'm going to be making a video that goes into all of those at some point, hopefully in the next couple months. But if you're looking to just get started, that's what I would start with. Basically the BL Touch, the spring upgrade, and the fan duct cover. It's not much additional work, and it will really help things out quite a bit. And for those of you looking to reduce the overall noise output from your printer, like I said in the video, upgrade to a silent board if your printer didn't already come with one. Some of them do have them, like the Ender 3 V2 and some of the other ones. And then replace the fan on your power supply like this guy. Because after I switched to a silent board, the next loudest thing by far was the fan on that power supply. But if you guys have any questions or would like to see any additional videos, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks.